Good morning everyone. How are you all? So, I hope you all have finished your previous work in science, and today we'll be starting with a new chapter which says amazing animals. So you can see these beautiful pictures on the screen, right, of the different kind of the animals. A bear, a bird, camel, elephants. They're just looking wonderful, right? So in this chapter we are going to study about the facts, how these animals are adapted to live in a particular habitat, what all different features they have from others so that they're able to adjust themselves in deserts or in water or on mountainous regions, right? So first of all, before we move further, we have this term which says that habitat. Habitat means the living or the developing place, right? Habitat means it is the place where any organism lives, grows and develops. That refers to habitats. Now, animals are found everywhere. They are found in forests, in seas, deserts, on mountains and even in the snow-covered areas, right? So the natural surroundings in which an animal lives is called as its habitat. To live and survive in those conditions, they have certain special features, right? And these features are known as their adaptation. Further in this chapter, when we'll move ahead, we'll be dealing with the different body coverings that help the animals to survive in different environmental conditions, right? Like you might have seen the dogs, the cats, lizards, birds, cows, etc. They have different kind of a body covering. When you see a lizard, it has a lot of scaly and dry skin, right? Cats and dogs, they have furs on them, right? So it depends upon animal to animal in which environmental condition the particular animal is living and surviving. Accordingly, it has different body coverings. So let's begin, and here you all can see the first body covering which we are going to deal is about scales. Animals like fish, lizards, they have scales on their bodies, right? Scaly, dry. The scales of fish, they are overlapping and they are waterproof. Children, fishes के अंदर ये जो scales होते हैं, ये scales उनको पानी में decay होने से, decompose होने से बचाते हैं, right? These are helpful to them. Whereas lizards की जो dry skin होती है, that protects it in humid, in hot, extreme climatic conditions, कि उसकी body का जो water है, वो ज़्यादा loss नहीं हो. And snakes also have a kind of scales on their body. So these are the different kind of the animals, a fish, a lizard and a snake, which bear different kind of scales on their bodies, right? Next category of the body covering that we'll see here is about shells. There are few animals who live and survive their life under certain shells, like a tortoise, right? कितनी बार आपने सुनी है ना tortoise की story? So it's the same tortoise and it bears this hard stony covering on its back. Whenever it senses any danger, जब भी इसको किसी danger का, किसी prey का कुछ sign मिलता है, तो it just goes inside its hard shell and keeps itself protected, right? तो ऐसा लगता है कि वहाँ पे एक stone है rather than a tortoise. Similarly, a snail, it looks beautiful inside its shell. So these are the animals that bear hard shell, hard outer covering on their body, which keeps them protected. Third type of the body covering which we are going to study here is about fur or the hairs, which are usually present on the body of the mammals. Mammals are the organisms that give birth to their young ones. So here you can see the polar bear bearing hairs, right? And these hairs, they are thick. The hairs of the sheep, they are thick, right? So polar bears, they have thick fur which keeps them warm in the extreme cold climatic conditions. And one more type of the body covering which we're going to study here is about spines. Now this creature which you're seeing here is a porcupine. Porcupine, hedgehogs, these are the organisms that bear spines all over their body, which keeps them protected from their enemies. So whenever the enemy comes near to them, they sense that enemy and they keep themselves protected. These spines, they help them to keep them protected. Moving ahead, we have feathers. And you all know that birds, they look beautiful with these colorful feathers. So a parrot you all can see here, right? So bacha, these part refers to the wings. Please, feathers and wings are the two different things. Wings, they basically help a bird in flying, whereas feathers, they keep them protected in the extreme cold climatic conditions, right? And they might also help the birds in flying. Some feathers that form the wings and the tail help the bird to fly, while others, they keep them warm. Now, camouflage in the environment. Camouflage. Camouflage is the term which means beta matching itself according to the background, right? आपने सुना है कि गिरगिट अपना रंग बदलती है, वो रंग बदलना नहीं होता, वो camouflage करना होता है. Camouflaging means merging oneself with the surroundings. जैसे आसपास के सराउंडिंग्स हैं उसके अकॉर्डिंग एक ऑर्गेनिज्म अपने बॉडी कलर को कैमोफ्लेज कर लेता है और छुप जाता है और एनिमी से बच जाता है, राइट? The body covering of some animal matches with the surroundings, thus making it difficult for the animal, for the enemy or the prey to spot them. वो उस बैकग्राउंड के साथ मर्ज कर जाते हैं and then it becomes very difficult for the enemy to merge, to spot them. So this ability is known as camouflage. A stick insect, it looks like a stick. पेड़ के ऊपर होता है, stem के ऊपर होता है and it appears like as if a stem is there. तो जो उसका enemy है वो उसको locate ही नहीं कर पाता, right? So a stick insect, for example, looks just like the stick it sticks on. Such camouflage helps the animal to protect itself. Some predators too can camouflage themselves and this makes it easy for them to catch their prey. Now a question for you. Do ask your parents कि animals में और कौन-कौन camouflage करता है and कैसे, right? I can give you a hint of a zebra and a tiger. कैसे करता है वो you need to find out on your own. Now, classification of the animals based on their feeding habits, right? Feeding habit means that which animals are categorized as herbivores and which all come under the categories of carnivores. Herbivores are those which entirely depends upon the plant and plant products, right? For example, here we can see a cow, right? A cow, a rabbit, squirrel, all these are herbivores, and these herbivores, they have sharp front teeth called as incisors which help them in biting something, and they have broad molars so that they can keep on chewing the cud, right? That's why they have those broad molars so that they can even digest this tough grass that contains cellulose. You know, children, even we people doesn't have the ability to fully digest this cellulose. It is a plant product and they have an extra stomach. The cow bears an extra stomach where the cellulose gets digested. Small herbivores like rabbits, rats, etc. nibble. You know what is the meaning of nibble? Kutar kutar kar khana. Nibble at seeds and fruits with the sharp front teeth, and these are called rodents. So these are called rodents because they nibble at the various food grains that are present to them. Moving ahead, we have carnivores. All the dangerous animals are there in this category, right? Like lion, a tiger, lizard, frog, snake, etc. Now, since they are carnivores and they eat the flesh of other animals, they have sharp pointed canines to tear the flesh with and broad molars again for chewing the bones and flesh. So that's their adaptive feature. What is their adaptive feature? They have a pointed canine and broad molars. Birds like eagles and owls, often called birds of the prey, they have sharp hooked beaks so that immediately they can tear inside the flesh of any other organism. Snakes poison their prey and swallow them whole. Lizards and frogs also catch their prey and swallow them as whole. Now, to add your knowledge, we have something here. Just look here, children. Pythons are non-poisonous snakes. They coil around their prey and crush them to death before swallowing them inside. So that's something which is quite interesting. They don't swallow their prey. They just coil around and then make their prey dead and then they swallow them. Now, moving on to omnivores. Omnivores are those organisms that can eat the flesh of the other animals as well as the plant products. Right? Ducks, human being, bears. They are called omnivores because they can eat both plants and animals. They use their incisors, canines and molars. So they use all the different kind of teeth to eat different kind of food. Right? Fowls eat grain and worms with their hard and short beaks. So all these adaptive features help them to catch hold of their prey and eat them. Now coming to scavengers. The picture looks quite dirty here, but scavengers, they play a very important role in an environment, children. They help to keep our environment clean because animals like hyenas and vultures, they feed on the leftover flesh of the animals which are killed by the larger animals. Just imagine if they don't clean up this mess, if they don't eat this flesh, then a lot of diseases and a lot of bad foul smell will spread in the environment. To prevent that, they play a very important role and they are known as cleansers. Right? They help to keep our surroundings clean. Okay? So they eat the flesh, the body of the dead animals and helps to keep our surroundings clean. Now, classification which is based on the movement of the animal. You all know that most animals, they move by their four limbs. Right? Like in this picture, a cow, a dog, and you have a lizard. At two front ones, the two front limbs, they are known as forelimbs, students, and the back ones are known as the hind limbs. Animals like cow, dog, and lion, they move on their forelimbs. Lizards, crocodile, turtles, they have shorter limbs, so they crawl, and hence they are known as reptiles. Now, coming to us human beings, let's see what's here for us. Human beings use their hind limbs, means the upper ones. Hind limbs means the lower ones, sorry. Human beings, they use their hind limbs for walking and the four limbs are the upper ones for holding and carrying the things. The position of the thumb in the human being is quite interesting because it helps them in doing various kind of work with their hands. So their position is quite interesting. They are placed in such a manner that we are able to grip many things. So forelimbs means hands and hind limbs means legs. Now usually all the insects, they bear 6 legs for walking. Snakes and worms, they do not have limbs. They use their muscles to crawl or they also bear plates. Worms condense and elongate their body. This organism, that is an earthworm, you have seen a lot of these earthworms even in the soil of a school ground, right? Now, this earthworm, what does it do? It sticks its end portion, releases the first portion, then sticks the first portion and again releases the back portion and it keeps on moving back and forth like this. Animals like frog, rabbits and kangaroos, they hop with the help of their strong hind limbs, that means their legs, to move forward. So they hop and they even carry their baby in their pouch. Now adaptations for moving in air. We all know that animals like butterfly and birds, they fly. So obviously they are adapted for that, children. They have their modified forelimbs, that means their hands, attached to their chest muscles, right? Their bones are hollow. होलो मीन्स वो खाली होती है, लाइट होती है and इस phenomena को आप pneumatic bones भी कहते हैं. Such pneumatic bones help the birds to fly because their body becomes light. Otherwise तो birds के लिए it will be too difficult to fly अगर उनकी भी bones हमारी तरह phosphorus, calcium and बाकी minerals से rich होंगी, फिर वो pneumatic bones नहीं रहेंगी and then they won't be able to fly anymore. Now, adaptations for moving in water. Fish, it has a streamlined body. Now, streamlined body is this kind of a body. We start from here and then we move like this. It goes like this, like an aeroplane. Streamlining. Why? Because this kind of the shape helps in cutting any kind of a friction. whether it is in water or in air, right? They move their body from side to side as they move ahead. They also use their fins for balancing and changing the directions. Frogs and ducks, they swim by kicking the water with their webbed hind legs, right? They have their webbed feet, webbed, as you all can see that they do not have digits, right? They do not have any gaps in between their digits. It's all attached. That's webbed, which helps them in pushing the water backwards. Penguins use their short, strong forelimbs called flippers to swim inside the water, right? Now, adaptations for long distance travelers, especially the birds that migrate, children. Now, migration is the phenomenon where a bird or any other organism travels a long distance from one particular place to reach another place. Suppose the environment, the habitat in which it is living is not providing the proper food, the proper temperature conditions, and the animal is might at the risk of getting extinguished. So it moves, it changes, it shifts from its original place to some other place for a while, right? And they return to their original homes when the conditions they become favorable. And this long journey is known as migration. That is moving from one place to another. The Arctic tern makes the longest migration every year in winters, from the Arctic to the Antarctic where it is summer at that time. So to escape the cold climatic condition, the Arctic tern makes the longest migration of the year. Some eels, they swim from the fresh waters to the salty water of the sea to lay their eggs. The parent eels die there while the young ones, they swim back to the original homes. Now, locusts are the migratory insects. They move in huge swarms. Swarms means group of them from one place to another to feed themselves. They cause a lot of damage to our crops. Otherwise, farmers, they not at all like them, right? Because they bring a lot of damage to their crops, children. Okay, now another adaptation is shown by the Siberian crane, which comes to India during the winter season and return back during the summer season. Now, Salim Ali was a bird watcher. He was a bird watcher who used to keep, those who have the interest and they used to keep the birds, who spent his whole life studying the birds. He has written many books on Indian birds. You can also Google and search for him. Adaptations for exchange of gases. Now, that's also one of the very important adaptations for survival, children. If we are not able to exchange the gases, right, if we are not able to breathe out the carbon dioxide and not take in the oxygen inside, then our survival would be difficult. Now, this is the structure of the lungs. Human beings, we all have these lungs. This refers to the nostrils, the nose, from where we breathe in the fresh air. This nostril, it passes through the trachea, which is also known as the windpipe. This trachea gets divided into the two tubes. These are known as bronchi. Each bronchi enters inside the lung. That's a left lung and that's a right lung. So the trachea opens into two tubes known as bronchi. Each bronchi opens into each lung. And these bronchi, they are further branched and these are known as bronchioles. The finest surface, सबसे छोटा जो exchange of gases जहाँ पे हमारा होता है, उस surface को, children, we call it as alveoli, where the final exchange of gases takes place. The oxygen enters inside our blood cells and the used carbon dioxide from our blood cells enters inside the alveoli, then bronchioles, then bronchi, trachea, nostril and out. So that's the process we do while we breathe in and breathe out the gases. Now, exchange of gases through moist skin. Animals like earthworm, they breathe through their skin, their general body surface. That helps them, right, to breathe in. Okay, and through gills. We have already studied about fish. Fishes are the organisms that use their gills to breathe in. These gills, they help them to breathe in the oxygen which is dissolved in the water, right? Otherwise, it would have been a problem for them. It would be a problem for them to breathe in the oxygen. The gills, they help in exchange of the gases, and these gases you could see in the form of the small bubbles that come out of them, right? So children, hope you have understood the chapter, right? Please, you can read this chapter again. The entire chapter is there in the form of PDF and I'll be giving you the notes as well along with this. Thank you. Stay safe. Take care. Bye bye.